Hey, everybody, it's Tiffany back with another episode of Meet the Trainers. And this time I get to introduce you once again to someone you've probably already met as the infamous hall monitor in the Tac-Con Facebook group. But I know him more as my big brother. His name is Lee Weems, and he's going to tell you all about himself right now. Good afternoon, Lee.
Good afternoon, Tiffany.
Please do introduce yourself to the folks who were so buried in the sand for the last couple years that they somehow managed to not know who you are.
Well, I'm the guy that Tiffany has been on me for 3 years or so to write a book. And I sent her the excerpt from chapter one 2 months ago, and she still has not responded back and commented on it. So that's me.
That's really cruel, just so you know. And
I,
also,
told, I told you we were going to pay for it.
but because Lee is my big brother, he knows that the absolute worst time to send me stuff is A, when we're both swamped with grading for our students at university, and B, when it's time to start ramping up for TACCon. So there you go.
Tiffany, Tiffany, when are we both not swamped?
Well, that's a good point. But anyway, folks are bored with our personal banter. So back to business. Lee, tell everybody who you are, please, sir.
Well, I'm Lee. I am currently the Chief Deputy of the Oconee County, Georgia Sheriff's Office, a position that I've held for the last 12 years. But that position is coming to an end. December 31st will be my last day in this position. My sheriff is retiring. James Hale, who is the tied for the number one position, number one best score on the casino drill, was actually elected sheriff. His administration starts on January the 1st of 2021, and I will be staying with the sheriff's office and working for Sheriff Hill, but I will be moving to a full-time training position. So gone are the administrative job functions and everything. It's been great. It's been fun for the last 12 years, but it's time for the agency to have something different. It's time for me to have something different. And I had to call dispatch at like 12:30 last night. And I said, you know what? We've only got 23 more days of midnight phone calls from me. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure they are too. But I will be moving to a full-time training role, like I say, on January the 1st. And I am looking forward to uninterrupted nights of sleep.
And I am looking forward to another police agency benefiting from your wonderful training prowess, which was the impetus for first person safety, right?
Right.
And it is under the first person safety umbrella that you bring your tremendous talents to TACCon. So we'll start first with your Revolver Essentials class, which folks can catch on Friday morning, on Saturday morning, and on Sunday afternoon. Tell us about Revolver Essentials.
Well, first of all, you'll need to bring a revolver.
You mean I can't
Uh,
bring my semi-auto to Revolver Essentials?
y- you can bring it, but you'll probably need a revolver to shoot. I don't know how you're going to work the speed loader into the semi-automatic pistol there, but believe me, I've seen it tried on police range,
I bet.
and and vice versa. Um, you will need a revolver, preferably a quality revolver. Um, bring speed loaders, speed strips, and 100 rounds of ammunition. Look in the files section of the Tac-Con group, and there is a flyer there that will have more detailed information on things that you need to bring with you. But I do want to specify that your ammo needs to be quality ammo. Jacketed ammo would be better than lead round nose stuff, but bring a quality ammo. People say that revolvers are more reliable than semi-automatic pistols, and that's just not the case. It is not the case. Much of the problems that happen with revolvers is ammo related, and you can eliminate that by having quality ammo.
And what do
So,
you say to folks who say, why the heck would I take a revolver class? This is not the 1920s. Those things are obsolete, blah, blah, blah.
to learn that you shouldn't carry a revolver because they're obsolete.
Nice. Well done. All right. So let's see. Our
And I'm
next.
I'm actually reading a 1915 book on shooting revolvers. Yay!
Aha.
At this very
Nice.
moment.
By the
So,
way, folks, whoever, if you, in case you didn't know, Lee is a bit of a history buff. So be prepared to get lots of historical context as a bonus when you attend his classes. Now, your other block is called Standing Your Ground. And this is a
well,
bit,
hold on a second. Let's go back to the revolver thing for a second.
oh, sure.
Make sure that you bring a brush like a nylon toothbrush or a brass brush or something so that you can clean debris out of your revolver partway through the class. You'll need to. That's one of the things that you got to do with a revolver is make sure that you're maintaining it. If it's a well-maintained revolver for the first 5 to 6 rounds, depending on what your capacity is, it's probably going to be fine. But when you start trying to shoot it, over extended periods of time is when the problems start. I believe Daryl is doing a class first thing Friday morning on revolver options. He's going to go into a lot of that. So if you want to take the one of the live fire revolver essential classes, it would probably be a good idea to also go to Daryl's classroom portion and learn how to keep your revolver running so that we can spend our time on the range on the actual running the revolver. We'll have some historical courses of fire for you to shoot. As part of that, I thought about scaling back the round count because of the ammo shortage, but I said no, we're going to do what I have planned.
Nice. I love it. So now switching gears to Standing Your Ground. This is a 4-hour classroom block that we've got on Friday afternoon. It's a bit of instruction that you've become a little bit famous for, in addition to your police citizen contacts class. So tell us a little bit about Standing Your Ground.
Standing your ground is basically the class that I came up with to try to refute the whole notion of, you know, people that we see them all in our classes, and it's like they just can't wait to check that box to be in an eye. Maybe they need to rethink that position, um, and need to know what all the ramifications are of being involved in a deadly force incident. Um, it's a big deal. Ultimately, it really is life changing, life altering. Um, you are opening yourself up to a uh, very much of a legal quagmire that should be avoided at all cost. But sometimes you just can't avoid it. Sometimes it's unavoidable. Um, I try to present it so that instructors, can take away and go back to talk with their students because if you've ever been asked if X happens, can I shoot them? We address that and how to respond to that in the class. If you've been to the class before, like if you've taken the online edition or uh, at the reunion, or you've actually come to one of the in-person classes, it is different each time I teach it because the audience is different each time. Um, the typical gun store audience is much different than the group we say we had at the reunion here a few weeks ago. The questions become much different, and sometimes the class, it takes on a remarkably different turn from when you have more knowledgeable people to less knowledgeable people in the class because they get hung up on nuance. And but basically, I just try to give you a common sense approach to the whole question, and it gets pretty deep on the ramifications of the issue.
Yeah, and I know in my own classes, most people tend to have arrived at the conclusion that stand your ground is a pretty cut and dry concept, and that they have a pretty thorough understanding of it. And I assume that you have found that to be not quite the case, or you wouldn't have seen a need for this class. Is that fair?
I think there is very little actual understanding on the actual black letter legalities that are involved, and then the political nuances that are involved. We've got a guy sitting in prison for the rest of his life here in Georgia because he's in his 70s at the time of the incident. He was convicted that the victim in the case told the ER staff that the other person accidentally shot her, but dude was convicted of murder. That was not the legal world that I walked into 20 something years ago, but it's the world we're in now.
That's a fabulous teaser. Do you have some marketing experience? So Folks, if you are wondering how in the world a victim could tell law enforcement that her attacker accidentally shot her and then that person still be convicted of murder, go to Lee's class. He'll explain how that happens and make sure that you are well equipped to protect yourself from falling into a similar legal pitfall. That's Standing Your Ground on Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. And if you are interested in revolvers, you can catch the Revolver Essentials Live Fire Block on either Friday morning, Saturday morning, or Sunday afternoon with Mr. Lee Weems. Lee, thank you so much. And I'm probably going to see you before Tac-Con, but if not, I can't wait to see you at Tac-Con. So thanks.
It's always good to see you.
Absolutely. Take care, bro. See you soon.
See ya.